Welcome to As the Story Grows. I'm Brian Patton. Today we welcome Blacktoothed guitarist Matti Keitel to the podcast. The new Blackedtoothed record, Headway, is out this Friday on Rising Empire Records. Matti talks about playing violin and transitioning to guitar, the unfortunate logo the band started with, the band trying to find their footing as a rock band in a metalcore scene, the concept for Headway, and more. I loved Blacktoothed's A Rising Empire debut, Julie, a lot, and listening to Headway really surprised me at some of the musical risks the band took and the various changes in style and sound. I listened to the album a bunch leading up to this interview, and I'm stoked to dive into it more when it officially drops on Friday. Thanks so much for checking out this episode of As the Story Grows. If you're brand new to the podcast, welcome. Thanks for listening. You can find links in the show notes or at asthestorygrows.com to sign up for the podcast mailing list on Substack. You can join our community on Discord, or you can support the show financially over on Patreon. And if you dig this episode and think other people in your life might like it, I would love it if you shared it with them. Enjoy getting to know Matti from Blackedtoothed.
My blood's so hot, like my body's on fire.
My focus, I've got one burning desire.
I'm acting up, I don't wanna be so loud.
Don't make me stop now. Like, do you even care about the way you make me feel? Throw me down and watch me find a golden crown. Oh, tick-tock, pull the clock, stop the fire, the rain is on now. I'm feeling like a ticking time bomb.
Good times. Good
Well,
times.
yeah, these things happen.
Yep. All right. You and me.
That's it for now.
Yep. Busy day full of press.
Yeah. This is the whole week.
Yeah.
But it's okay. It's like 1 week and you can just, stuff it all into this week.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then it's good.
Yeah.
For now. I don't know what's going to come.
Yeah. You're where in Germany? Leipzig?
Yeah, Leipzig.
Yeah. I'm so close.
like
Is that where you grew up?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
I was born in Berlin, but then we moved like when I was 1.5 or something.
Okay.
Oh.
Berlin is the only city I've been to in Germany.
Okay.
And
I've
talked to enough German artists to know that doesn't count as Germany. That's like its own separate thing.
Yeah.
Berlin is different.
Yeah, it's different. It's pretty international now, I guess. So yeah. It's like a smaller New York.
Yeah.
With all the ups and downs.
I was talking to somebody about this recently, how like anytime I travel internationally, it's like, what city does this remind me of in America? America? And I'm like, that's kind of a fucked up perspective to take because like we're a new country.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, obviously.
But you're just trying to connect to like what is
yeah.
It's like in Tokyo, and I was like, yeah, this is very much like New York, and it's like except like way older, right? Like,
yeah, I mean, you get that.
Yeah, for sure. What was growing up like?
In Germany.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't complain because I think I come from a family that's doing pretty okay. Yeah. So that's always like in Germany, it really matters, like in terms of education, everything. So if you're lucky, you're lucky. If not, I don't know. Perspective is So, but it was pretty damn all right.
Yeah. You grew up in a good family and then you're like, I'm going to be in a band. And they're like, damn you.
Yeah. I mean, I come from a family of classical musicians.
Okay.
So
music was always around growing up?
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
So did you have to start like playing piano?
Violin, actually.
Violin? Oh.
Like for 8 years.
Fun.
But then I went to like a special school where we had everything like music theory, piano, voice training, everything, choir. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. At what point do you decide like violin's not for you and you're going to play guitar?
Honestly, after 4 of the 8 years in total that I had to play it.
Yeah.
So I mean, I had to be in like all these orchestras and stuff, and I was like, I'm not feeling this one. I was like calling in sick, just 5 minutes before the practice would start, so I knew the person wasn't home.
Yeah. Oh man. Oh. Was that like just like you didn't like the instrument, or just like the music or the school, or what was it about that was like?
I didn't do too bad with the music, but then we have like these I don't know, these contests, so to say, and they're like a real big thing, and all this classical music, and the whole music school was like, yeah, let's work towards this. And my brother, who was playing piano at the time, was like taking these things, and it was really stressful.
Yeah.
And then when it came up for me, my mom was like, nah, let's not do it for her. And then I feel like my teacher kind of dropped me a bit.
Oh man.
Like, yeah, I mean, that's pointless then. So
yeah,
it started to be really annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What then drew you to guitar?
Music.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously I became a teenager at some point, and
Happens to
I don't
the best of us.
yeah, I mean, I feel like there's probably a little bit of my dad's thing, because my mom is like all this classical stuff, church, everything musically like connected to this. And then my dad, he listens to this southern rock stuff, always has. And I really got a thing for 80s hard rock and 80s heavy metal. And then obviously had to be a guitar player. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was kind of natural. Translating from violin to guitar was pretty easy. So
I was wondering how that transition was, if it would be easier or not. Like I've played guitar for a long time now at this point, and I like recorded like 2 songs where I actually tried to play a cello. It was hard as fuck to do.
It is, but it really, really trains your ears.
Yeah,
because you have to be so precise with your fingers, and that helps a lot. Yeah. Also, with the whole like hand connection, like it's just really helps.
Yeah. When you're a teenager and kind of discovering music, what's the music scene like for you? Like, was there stuff happening locally? Was it just like what's on the radio or television?
Yeah, I was. That's why I said my family's a bit special, so we didn't have a television. Not really. Like I could watch movies, but that was about it. Yeah, it's Creed. And of course, I did grasp some of the MTV Viva stuff that we had going on with music, but not so much. Obviously, the radio was still a thing, and I think in my school, I got into Green Day a lot, like when I was 10, and that was kind of my starting point. So already on the heavier side, if you want to say that.
Yeah.
And then I had this thing for like Guns N' Roses and all these bands for some reason. And Red Hot Chili Peppers, of course, was also a thing. Oh yeah, YouTube. Actually, YouTube. I mean, it was like 2006 or something, and then we had all these music videos, and that got me into music, I guess.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's
but
cool.
but like band, like I think I had my first band when I was about to finish school, like say 17, 18.
Yeah.
And it was like this try of being like the big bands like Guns N' Roses or something. Yeah. It was really horrible. And we looked terrible, and there was like a very, very, very small scene, like 20 people that we know. And we're playing like little shows, and then I got into like Blacktooth, and still not too much of a big scene, I would say. But now all the hardcore metalcore stuff is still a bit bigger, but still tiny in Germany. It's like
yeah. For a band like Blacktooth, like, was it hard to try and find your space in the scene? Because you guys aren't a metalcore band. You're not a hardcore band or a punk band. I mean, you're more in that, I don't know, what's it getting called? Like octane core now, right? Like, like that hard rock, like genre that, like, you think of on a bigger platform than like, where, a local scene might be, right?
Yeah, it's a tough spot for sure. Yeah. I mean, we have this thing where we define ourselves as like modern rock somehow, but still rock music can be anything. I mean, right. It's such a big genre. It's really hard to define. So we have a tough spot because we're not too metalcore. Like, we're not shouting or anything in our songs, which makes it tough for us to pair ourselves with some other bands, because they're always like very, very heavy.
Yeah.
And I haven't got my head around if there's like a rock scene in Germany at all. It's really weird.
Yeah.
So I mean, obviously we're playing with all these heavy bands. We would have never guessed that we would play with like the MT Affliction or Emure. I mean, that was like, and now we're playing with Miss May I and Cabal in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It's just like, okay, it's not going to get heavier than that.
Yeah. It's pretty crazy. It seems like post-pandemic, there's been kind of a re-embrace of the hard rock, and like you see these hard rock bands playing with the metalcore bands or the death or whatever. It's like people are just like, who cares, right? Like embrace. It's a big tent.
Yeah, but I love that, and I think this is something that you guys in the States are a bit ahead of us in Europe, because you started to pair these like bands together. I think they had like Knocked Loose and Boston Manor at a certain point, like a few years back, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, wow, that's wild, and now it's starting to happen over here, which is obviously great for us. I mean, the Miss Maya and Cabal thing is probably the best example for this. I love that. So it's good for us.
Yeah. When I started talking to European bands, my perception was that European metal fans were more open-minded, and I was quickly shot down with like, no, they're way more gatekeepy than they are stateside. And I was like, we keep the gate pretty hard here.
Well, I mean, but also you got a much bigger rock scene. I mean,
it's true. Yeah.
I love bands like Point North or something, and you have these. We don't have anything close to that, I guess.
How'd you end up playing with Blacktooth?
Well, I was not very satisfied with my own band at the time, because I thought like, it's not the level I want to be playing at. It was just like this local band stuff, hanging out, partying, all this nice, but wasn't really my thing. So I thought like I need something else. And Blacktooth, by the time it was still called Blacktooth Gas, they just lost their singer. So Henny, who was playing guitar and doing backing vocals at the time, was like, I'm going to step up as the main singer of the band and still play guitar. And he was still looking for another guitarist then, because obviously that was too much to handle. And he just called me and was like, hey, do you want to, because we knew ourselves, we got to know each other during like one of these band contest things in a hard rock cafe somewhere in Berlin, that I play with my band, and he kind of liked the guitar playing. So we started chatting, and I thought like, yay, that's my opportunity to take my guitar into another band. I wasn't even sure of the genre. I was so ready to play in a metalcore band. But that ended up in Blacktooth Gas at the time, and I was like, yeah, whatever, let's try it out. And then kind of turned this into like my music.
Who came up with the initial logo for the band? Because like the one that's on Seeker and Julie, because it very much looks like another band with tooth in their name.
Yeah, we got that, and that was like the worst decision we ever took. That was fun. So Henny and I are both very much 80s heavy metal fans. And the name switch was just because we thought like Blacktooth Scare is such a dumb name to have, and it's like, they were teenagers when they decided on that name. They were not native speakers, so it's weird. It's just weird, and we thought like, okay, we kind of want to keep the name sorta, but make it a bit more professional. Blacktooth is still a very silly name, but that's okay. Now we can't escape that. And then we wanted a logo that was like heavy metal-ish. And we just reached out to one person on the internet, said like, make it heavy metal, and that's what he came up with. And after 3 things where we said like, it kind of looks like Beartooth, we were still like paying that guy, or we had to pay him, and we were like, well, we're like a small shitty band, nobody's gonna care about us, let's just roll with the logo for once. So and then we, got signed with the Rising Empire and everything got a little bit bigger. So nobody was expecting that. And all of a sudden we were like the Beartooth ripoff.
Yeah. I just remember when they announced the signing and seeing the logo and from a distance it's just like, oh shit, they signed with the Rising Empire. No, it's you guys.
Yeah, the first song that we released through Rising Empire was called You Never Know. Also, totally forgetting that Beartooth had a song called You Never Know, which is also like the favorite song of our A&R, and even he didn't think of it. And then we put it out and was like, oh, like an hour after, like we realized what this would have looked like. It was wild.
Yeah.
But I think we have overcome this, and I'm very, very thankful for this.
Yeah.
Now we're going to rip off something much bigger, I guess.
Yeah.
No.
You guys put out Seeker in 2018, a handful of singles, but like the pandemic obviously waylays the music industry. In that time, though, you guys end up with the Rising Empire. How did you connect with the label?
It's very boring, actually. We just recorded a couple songs, and our bassist at the time was like, I'm just going to send them out. But obviously, Rising Empire knew us like a few years before, because we in the A&R's band are producing in the same studio with Christoph from NSOK. And I think even when we recorded Seeker, he was like, I'm going to send it over and see if we can land a deal or something. Didn't at the time, that happened at the time, but then did it again. So they kind of knew us before, I guess. So, but still, I mean, it was pandemic, nothing was happening. It was really surprising even for us that we got that deal.
Keep it coming. No, it is kind of calming. All the dead just like the ocean. Water lies and let me drowning. I need an antidote to cure my heart. Give me the antidote, 'cause I drift apart.
Brand new album is called Headway. Where'd that title and the concept for the album come from?
Me. I was just writing a bunch of songs. That's what I always do. I write them as a whole. I write the lyrics, so main songwriter for the band. And then I felt like all the themes I covered with the songs were like basically making progress, getting to know yourself better throughout life, and probably knowing why and when you struggle, or even what your resources are. So I thought kind of making headway, personally.
Yeah. Nice. Did you also kind of come up with the concept for the album artwork?
Not quite. I think I made like a vision board or something with like random pictures, and then we sent it to our guy, Marius, and said like this or that topic. I like the birds, honestly, because obviously flying, making headway, and but then we absolutely left it to him, because we completely trust him, and we're not so much involved into these kind of things. We're like, oh, okay, you're the artist, I bet you have an idea, and then that's what he came up with, and we're like happy with that.
Nice. For the last year, maybe the last 2 years, a Rising Empire's album rollout, what's the word I'm looking for? I guess just the album rollout has been to drop, if there's 10 tracks on a record, drop 9 of them before the album drops. Have a year lead up to it. When you guys start writing, are you writing like we have one song and we're sending it to the label, or is the album done by the time it starts?
Like for the last 2 records, so for Julie and for Headway, we had 2 to 3 different recording sessions where we would do like 3 or 4 times songs at a time.
Okay.
And we basically just have the album finished when we send it to a Rising Empire, and then we develop like the release plan and everything. So that's a bit easier than just having singles and doing everything one by one.
Yeah.
So it's basically finished.
Yeah. Is it weird to have that long rollout of an album and just be like, or is it kind of, instead of having to sit and wait a year for the album to come out, is it better that like people are getting to hear it in this process? So like there's this building excitement.
Well, I am like, so I always like to say, like our album cycles don't sync because I am here. I've already written like 11 new songs. Right. And I'm so ready to put these out. And now you're still stuck with like the old album, which feels so old to me right now.
Right.
So yeah, if I could, I would just release them right away and not wait so long. But yeah, it's just what it is, I guess, for most bands.
Yeah.
Write it, then you have to record it, then all this goes back and forth, and then you send it to your label, and then you have a plan that starts in like 3 months or something. So yeah, kind of annoying. But unless you're like a rap artist, I guess, and put it out in 2 days, that's just life.
Yeah. But I imagine there's some benefit, like when you guys go play these shows, right? Like y'all be able to play the new songs and people will know the words and have heard them. And like, there's got to be some like, that's cool about it, right? As opposed to like, hey, here's a new song, everybody stand and judge us, right? Like,
I mean, that's kind of what we did on the Amity tour in August. We were like, no, we're going to play. Nobody's going to know us. We're just like the little opener band that gets to play like 30 minutes. Let's roll with the new songs. And we did. And it worked. That's like a good spot where we're at right now. I guess when you're playing like headline shows mostly, then probably not such a good idea to play unreleased songs. But yeah, for us, we're in that good position where we can just do whatever we want.
Yeah, do whatever you want. Yeah. Yeah. You guys have shows to close out this year, but album's out end of January. What's your plan for next year? Like there's nothing booked or nothing on the Arising site yet.
We're planning a release show, obviously, in our hometown. It's gonna take place in April, so it's a bit late, but we had some timing issues. And then we are currently planning for another tour that we're just gonna hop on again. So it's gonna happen at like late 25. Yeah. So that's like, it's basically the plan for us to hop on any tour we can get. So
is the plan to try to just work your way through Germany or Europe, or what's like, how does that, when you're trying to route like how to build the fan base and grow the band, like what's that conversation like?
Yeah, I mean, I think we're still in that spot where we have to take what we're going to get. Obviously, it would be great to have a fan base in Germany first, but it looks like we're going on a tour through Europe again, which is also absolutely cool.
Yeah.
Obviously, would love to come to the States one day, but this is like a money issue and stuff, I guess.
Yeah, they keep making visas more expensive for touring. It sucks here.
I mean, it's already tough enough to go to the UK even.
Yeah.
You know, it's just, not a good time for bands.
No.
Of course, pre-order is still open, so get your copy. I know it's tough to have like a CD. I don't even own a CD player, but we also have a red shirt. So if you like shirts, I guess go pre-order and do the all these things, like, share, do stuff, watch our videos. Some of them are not getting as much as attention as they should. And street of songs, if you like them, of course.
Yeah. I feel like we're in a cycle where CDs are starting to come back. I feel like that's going to be a thing.
Are they? Really?
I don't,
CDs?
Well, I don't know. Maybe I'm just in nerdy pockets of the internet of music nerds who are like buying CDs, but I don't know. It feels
good for us.
Yeah.